What's going on, boys? I'm back. Couple of things. A thank you and another boy came home. This is a little bit of lengthy article, so I'm going to get right into it. It's titled "Twin Brothers Reunited 74 Years After Death in World War II. Remains ID decades after craft sinking." This is from France. For decades, he was known only as Unknown X-9352 at a World War II American cemetery in Belgium where he was interred. On Tuesday, Julius Heinrich Otto Henry Piper, his identity recovered, was laid to rest beside his twin brother in Normandy, 74 years after the two Navy men died together when their ship shattered while trying to reach the blood-soaked D-Day beaches. 6 Navy officers in crisp white uniforms carried the flag-draped metal coffin, bearing the remains of Julius to its final resting place at the site of Ludwig Julius Wilhelm Louis Piper at the Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial. The two 19-year-olds from Esmond, South Dakota, died together on June 19, 1944, when their huge flat-bottomed ship hit an underwater mine as it tried to approach Utah Beach 13 days after the D-Day landings. While Louis' body was soon found, identified, and laid to rest, his brother's remains were only recovered in 1961 by French salvage divers and not identified until 2017. A lone bugler played taps as the casket was lowered in an end-of-the-day military ceremony attended by a half a dozen family members, closing a circle of loss. Each laid a red rose on the casket and 2 scattered American soil over it. Sorry about that, boys. The Piper twins, both radio men second class, are the 45th pair of brothers at the cemetery. 3 of them memorialized on the walls of the missing at the cemetery. But the Pipers are the only set of twins among the more than 9,380 graves. The cemetery, an immaculate field of crosses and stars of David, overlooks the English Channel and Omaha Beach, the bloodiest of the Normandy landing beaches of Operation Overlord, the first step in breaching Hitler's stranglehold on France and Europe. They are finally together again, side by side where they should be, said their niece, Susan Lawrence, 56, of Sacramento. The story of how the twins died and were being reunited reflects the daily courage of troops on a mission to save the world from the Nazis and the tenacity of today's military to ensure that no soldier goes unaccounted for. The Piper twins, born of German immigrant parents, worked together for Burlington Railroad and enlisted together in the Navy. Both were radio operators and were on landing ship tank number 523, LST 523, making the channel crossing from England to Utah Beach. The LST 523 mission was to deliver supplies at the Normandy beachhead and remove the wounded. It never got there. Louis' body was laid to rest and was now the Normandy American Cemetery, but the remains of Julius were only recovered in 1961 by French divers who found him in the vessel's radio room. He was interred as an unknown at the Ardennes American Cemetery in Neuville, Belgium. Julius's remains might have stayed among those of 13 other troops from the doomed LST 523 still resting unidentified at the Ardennes Cemetery. But in 2017, the U.S. agency that tracks missing combatants using witness accounts and DNA testing identified him. Lawrence, the niece, said the brothers had successfully made the trip across the English Channel on D-Day itself, and they had written my grandparents a letter saying, "Do not worry about us, we are together." My grandparents received that letter after they got word that they had passed away. Welcome home, boys. Tough to get through that one. All right. So, on a happier note, I want to give a big thank you to a member of the community. This showed up in my mail yesterday, and he did notify me that it was coming. Mr. Brian over at BAS Dry Dock sent me this. We've already had words. But he's a good man. And he's teaching himself from scratch. Well, not him, but I mean from the beginning. He's teaching himself how to build battleships, which is no small feat to start when you're a modeler. They're expensive. There's a lot of parts. They're hard to do. They're not easy. They sell a lot of aftermarket stuff that adds a lot of realism to them. That's very tedious to do. It's all PE stuff. And most of us that work military know how that is to work with. A lot of you car guys probably don't. Some of you do. I know they sell some PE stuff for cars, but it's more prevalent in military, I think. But that's just my experience because I do military. I'm not a big fan of PE. Brian knows that. But hey, if you can do it, God love you. It's tough to do. But if you're not subscribed to this guy, go over and check him out. He's learning, but he does good work. Go check out his Antietam he built for his dad. Come out very, very good. So, if you're not subscribed to Brian over at BAS Dry Dock, go check him out. And thank you very much, sir. You didn't have to do that. I'll never admit publicly that I like you. You're right up there with Jeff. So you have attained Jeff's status. Great, now I got two of them. Now all you got to do now is talk the wife and get into a ferret, and you'll be all set. So, yes, this is the F-16. It's exploded all over the desk. I got parts everywhere. Parts up there. Parts over here. But I got everything cleaned up. Now I just got to start painting and putting things together. So, Shopcat's around. Oh, there's Shopcat. Yep. Doing nothing. All day. No. All right, boys. I'm running out of time. Welcome home to the brothers. Every time I find one of those, I'm reading it. So, if you don't want to listen, you don't have to. But I think it's important that they all be remembered. It doesn't matter how many years later. I'd even do it for a Civil War soldier. So, all right, boys, I'm running out of time. You guys have a nice day. Beautiful up here. Nice and cool. The humidity's starting to go away, so. But, all right, take care, guys. Peace out.